Hello again. This is Will Luden, your host with Revolution 2.0, a revolution of the heart. Bring you today's episode, which is Trucker Protest. Does might make right? And together we are at episode 388. In our time together today, our Take 10 with Will Luden, we will separate the causes that people are protesting or supporting from the tactics used. They are often incorrectly blurred to favor the person or group making the comments about the protest or the support. Let's go over some foundational principles first. Foundational principle 1, the ends do not justify the means. Do not justify the means. Means are ends in and of themselves. As soon as you say that your ends justify your means, you are saying that might is right. We'll unpack that some more later, and you'll see how clear that is. 2, foundational principle. Second, whatever it takes might be an acceptable strategy if A, your cause is fundamental to the survival of mankind, and you're dead, no pun intended, dead certain that you cannot be wrong. Third foundational principle, follow Revolution 2.0's golden rule of political tactics. Use only the tactics that you are okay with being used against you. Use only the tactics that you're okay with being used against you. It is the height of arrogance to claim that tactics you approve of in support of causes you favor are unacceptable to the point of being criminal when employed to support causes you do not believe in. The trucker protest in Ottawa crippled the capital city of Canada for over 2 weeks and shut down the Ambassador Bridge that carries 30% of the annual trade between the U.S. and Canada. A 2004 Border Transportation Partnership study showed that 150,000 jobs in the Detroit-Windsor region and $13 billion in annual production depend on the Detroit-Windsor International Border Crossing. And we're going to put up a section of the map showing where this bridge is. And if you're familiar with online maps, you'll see the standard indicator of where it is. And here's something a little unusual. We normally think of Canada to the north of the U.S., and it shows here that there's a part of Canada that kind of sneaks in under. So the Windsor side of the Detroit-Windsor Ambassador Bridge is actually south of Detroit. Interesting little point. But the key is this is a major international bridge that was shut down. And there's another photograph just supporting the fact this thing was shut down. If you look at this photograph, you'll see that there's no traffic. Everything is just stuck. If you had business or you wanted to visit somebody or whatever you wanted to do, if you needed to use that bridge, you were out of luck. And here's a very interesting third photograph. If you can see the photograph, wonderful, and it's easy to describe, but if you're not enjoying this on YouTube, let me describe what you see in the picture, and then I'll read what the picture is about. It shows a large section of 4-lane divided highway. And on one side of the divided highway, it shows rows of cars for as far as you can see, parked off to the side, interfering with nothing. On the other side of the divided highway, it shows people, as far as you can see, standing on the side, interfering with nothing. And here's the important description, the caption. On August 23rd, 1989, about 2 million people from Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania formed a human chain that united all 3 countries to show the world their desire to escape the Soviet Union and the communism that brought only suffering and poverty. This protest stretched 400 miles, 600 kilometers, 400 miles. 2 million people, 400 miles. Major cause, huge cause. Nothing was interfered with. And boy, did they make their point. Many of the same people and groups who enthusiastically support the trucker protest get self-righteously upset and irate and want to shut down another protest when they block an intersection for an hour or two. And these people and groups want to export the trucker protest to other cities and other countries. Now let's have a little more, but we're talking about separating the causes from the tactics. Let's get a little bit more into it. In the trucker case, the trucker protest, truckers and others have every right to protest, but they have no right to cripple cities and major thoroughfares. We can either approve of or criticize their anti-mandate cause for the protest. We cannot approve of the tactics. Civil rights protesters, including those BLM Black Lives Matter and those wanting change post the George Floyd murder, have every right to protest, but they have no right to block streets, burn and loot businesses, and invade police stations. Once again, we can debate the worthiness of the causes, but we cannot approve of the tactics. Third one, supporters of a failed presidential candidate have every right to protest. They have no right to invade our nation's capital. Debate their stolen election premise, if you will, but do not support the tactic of invading the capital. The intentional mistake I see made in all three areas, trucker, civil rights, January 6th, and others, is that people who are in support of the cause tend to focus on the cause and gloss over the tactics. Phrases like mostly peaceful or peaceful protests supporting democracy come to mind. People who are against the cause focus on the worst of the tactics and gloss over the cause. Phrases like another night of violence, burning, and looting, and January 6th was the worst and most dangerous event in America since the Civil War come to mind. Separate the causes from the tactics. Separate the fly poop from the pepper. Stop making people and events either all black or all white, either all good or all bad, literally and figuratively. Now back to my claim that might is right, following from the argument that the end justifies the means. If you take the ends justifies the means position, I can guarantee you that at least some of those who disagree with you will have the same belief. The ends justifies the means, but from the opposite side. At that point, the stronger side, the side with the stronger means, will win. Logic won't win, not morality, not what is best for the country. Might will win. Might will decide what is right. Might is right is the logical extension of the ends justifies the means argument. Now let's take a seat. Have some fun here. Let's take a seat in our favorite theater. Maybe it's where you watch movies at home. Maybe it's a theater. And watch a particularly powerful scene from A Man for All Seasons, a 1966 historical drama that won 6 Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor. This scene shows a conversation between Sir Thomas More, Lord Chancellor to King Henry VIII, and Will Roper, the young hothead who wants to fix all perceived injustices and immediately and by any means necessary. Roper believed that the ends justify the means. Sir Thomas More did not. Here we'll start with Will Roper speaking to More. So you'll give the devil the benefit of law? More responds, yes. What would you do? Cut a great road through the law and go after the devil? Will Roper, yes. I'd cut down every law in England to do that. Sir Thomas More, oh, and I'm going to read this word for word because I want you to get it. It's a brilliantly written scene with a powerful point. More responds, oh, and when the last law was cut down and the devil turned round on you, where would you hide, Roper? The laws all being flat. This country is planted thick with laws coast to coast. This country is planted thick with laws coast to coast, man's laws, not God's. And if you cut them down and you're just the man to do it, do you really think you could stand upright in the winds that would blow then? Yes, I'd give the devil the benefit of the law for my own safety's sake. Sir Thomas More would give the devil the benefit of the law for his safety. Unlike Roper, the young hothead, More does not believe that the ends justify the means. All sides, regardless of the validity or invalidity of their causes, must use legal means to promote their causes. Think back with me to the debate about waterboarding. Waterboarding was a very aggressive way of interrogating captured prisoners. Many people were defending waterboarding by saying that information gathered that way saved American lives. The late Senator John McCain, famously a long-term tortured prisoner of war in the infamous Hanoi Hilton prison in North Vietnam, was against it. I am not taking the position for or against enhanced interrogation here. I am taking the position that if we use it, we should expect others to use it. If we used enhanced interrogation techniques, including waterboarding, on prisoners we capture, we should fully expect that when the other side captures Americans, they're going to use enhanced interrogation methods as well. We all have the personal responsibility to follow the golden rule of political tactics. Use only the tactics that you are okay with being used against you. And speaking of personal responsibility, it does not stop there. The two main principles at Revolution 2.0 are: one, personal responsibility. Take it, teach it. And two, be your brother's keeper. The answer to the age-old question, am I my brother's keeper, is a ringing, resounding yes. There can be no other answer. By the way, as we conclude our time together today, police in Canada's capital are now telling protesters to leave the area as the demonstration against the COVID restriction continues. Hundreds remain in Ottawa in defiance of the newly deployed Emergencies Act. So where do you stand? What are you going to do? Remember, if you're not going to do anything, it doesn't matter where you stand. And you can take powerful, positive, effective initial action today by subscribing. Encourage others to subscribe with you if you're enjoying this on YouTube. Click the notification button so you'll know every time we put out a new YouTube for you, a new video for you. And give us a like, and subscribe. As always, I don't need to read this one. As always, whatever you do, do it in love. Because without love, anything we do is empty. This is Will Luden. Talk to you next time.
You've been listening to Revolution 2.0. If you've enjoyed this stimulating, passionate, and relentless reasoning, we encourage you to get out there and do something. Follow Will Luden and learn more at revolution2-o.org.